Hello, Robotics Notes fans. Happy August 13th. It is currently midnight exactly, and welcome to another episode of Robotics Notes Elite Like Animal Crossing. Today's episode should sound a little better than the average episode because it's pretty cool, all things considered. So I turned my fan off. I'm gonna see if I can just put up with no fan. With that being said, episode this one, August 13th. Load the data. And so, 2 days later, I call upon Subaru. I wanted to do it yesterday, but my grandparents from Kagoshima came to visit, so I couldn't get out of that. Since it's the Obon holiday, the Robot Club is on break. What the hell? Stop that. I get to chill in the park without a worry in the world, and I get to avoid Akiho's lectures. Perfection. After killing some time playing KB, Subaru shows up right on schedule. Hello. Sorry for calling you all the way out here during break. Subaru's house is in Nakatane-cho, so it must have taken him more than 30 minutes to get here by scooter. Subaru doesn't seem to mind all that much though. I've actually been fairly bored. I have no hidden hobbies to immerse myself in these days, he says somewhat lightheartedly. Thanks to that, I'm treading thin ice by being forced to help build Prez's robot and the like. So he says, but he doesn't seem too bothered by it. By the way, if this is about Robo 1, then it's been cancelled. Whoa, why? The riots and such in America. Sorry, everyone. Isn't that what you called me here about? Bzz. No. Then is it about the operation test for Model 1? I heard it went horribly, as expected. It's not about that. What do you want? Why did you call me all the way out? You didn't call me all the way out here for nothing, did you? I wanted to show you something. I went back to the town hall and grabbed the monopole earlier. It's currently in my hands. It's wrapped in a large towel inside a knapsack I don't use anymore. I carefully pull it out, towel and all, and present it to Subaru. What is this? Want to take a guess? Some sort of dry ice? I guess you could say that, given its misty aura. 2 days have passed since it fell. Nonetheless, there are still countless small particles cycloning the surface of the monopole. One moment, everybody. Look carefully at the rock itself. Is this some new age religious indoctrination deal? Just look at it, look. It's glowing slightly. Try touching it, it's pretty shocking. Shocking. Subaru, although hesitant, directly touches the monopole with his index finger. Ugh. See? Never heard of any mineral that discharges energy at this intensely. What exactly is this thing? Just between you and me? I beckon Subaru's face closer to mine. It's a monopole. He glares at me. Is this where I'm supposed to laugh? Does it look like I'm joking? Monopoles have yet to be observed in reality. One of the rubber bands on my mic thingy went down. Picked it up. Well, observe away. How do you know it's a monopole? Did somebody tell you that? Well, you know, things will get messy if I tell them about Kokumijima, let alone Irie. Let's just say I have connections. So what is this thing really? He has zero intention of believing me. Come on, Subaru-kun. Can't you trust your eyes? Just take what's in front of you for what it is. This is crazy mysterious, right? You've never seen anything like it, have you? You're sounding really suspicious, Senpai. What the heck, man? I just wanted to consult with you as a fellow man. I'm disappointed in you. I didn't ask for that. How can you be so cold after I helped out with the whole Robo 1 thing? Please don't act like I owe you something. We made an agreement and I held up my end of the bargain. And it's not like you volunteered to help. Plus the whole thing fell apart anyways. Well, fine. Be that way. If you want to take that attitude with me, we're done here. That's all, folks. Head on home. I melodramatically sigh and gaze at the monopole in my hand. What should I do now? What do you mean? Thinking of just tossing it. Really? Of course. I don't want this to become a big deal or anything. Even if it turns out to be an actual monopole, you could receive tremendous amounts of recognition and praise. I just want to be #1. Gashio-senpai, I always heard you were a weirdo, but now I'm utterly convinced that you actually are. Kinda late for that, no? Everyone who joins the robot club is a weirdo. Please don't lump me together with you, the rest of you. I mean, why are you still here? If you're not gonna help me figure this out, go home. Subaru lets out a disappointed sigh. But he doesn't move from where he's standing. This is absurd, but I suppose I can chat for a bit. One moment. Sorry, everybody. You know how it be. Well, you don't, but you know how it is. But you don't. You're seriously that bored, Subaru-kun? Bet you don't have any friends. Look who's talking. This dude always has to have the last word. Now, putting aside whether that thing is a monopole or not, if you want to keep this a secret, I suggest disposing of it in the ocean. There's one problem with that. The monopole fell here from the sky. Subaru's clearly sneering at me. Is that right? It fell. So? Apparently there's a chance that more will fall here in the near future. Basically, it'll be dangerous if we don't close the park off. Imagine something that big falling from the sky. Plus, there's a chance that someone might pick it up and start shouting about how they found a monopole. Any ideas how to avoid all that? Just close the park. Look, this is my spiritual oasis, my home base. I want to avoid that if I can. You're so whiny. Then we have no other choice. We either close the park or we let people make a big deal out of monopoles. Then no matter what option we go with, I won't be able to hang here anymore. That sucks. Correct. And if that thing really is a monopole, it'd be the discovery of the century. then I guess we only have one other option. And that would be stop the monopoles from raining down on the park. Senpai, that's ridiculous. Even for you and your delusions. Are you screwing with me? I actually can do it, though it's a little terrifying and a pain in the ass. If I climb the tower every day and change the direction of the antenna, no more falling monopoles. Finn. That's what Irie told me. What if you just put something over the antenna? Like put a tarp or something. I don't know. Just spitballing. Just spitballing, Kai. Kai, I'm just spitballing. Stop giving me that at Kai. That's what Irie told me. The more efficient way to solve this problem involves messing with the EGI system, yeah. The weird device hidden in the first floor of the local hall. I guess you'd have to rewrite its programs or whatever to stop it. Then it's then that Irie's lonely face crosses my mind. I can't believe I'm letting myself be influenced by an AI's words. Gotta scratch my back. Ugh. My chair is so squeaky, guys. I don't understand. I seriously can't deal with this anymore. I'm going. Subaru cuts his words off abruptly. His eyes are looking past me. He then lowers his shoulders, exasperated. What's up? We have a visitor. He points his chin in a direction. I follow with my eyes and finally see what he's talking about. Akiho's hiding behind a tree watching us with sparkling eyes. She legit looks like she wants in. If Akiho were a dog, her tail would be wagging violently right now. Wonder why she's watching from all the way over there. Beats me. Did you call her Subaru-kun? Not cool. I sought your advice as a fellow man. I thought you were the one who brought her here, Yashio-senpai. If neither of us called her here, then I guess it was just a coincidence. Sorry. What a mess. Ugh. Scritch, scratch. Squeak. I wanted to avoid letting Akiho in on this if possible. She has the biggest mouth in the world. We could always just ignore her. If we did that, she'd never let me hear the end of it. I sigh and wave Akiho over to us. She immediately jumps out from behind the tree like she was waiting for this moment. She might as well be skipping. Heh. It seems like the Boys Alliance is having a mighty interesting conversation. How long have you been there? Since Subaru arrived? The whole time, eh? Did you follow me here? Bingo! Shakin! Why the sound effect at the end? Look, if you saw Subaru and Minami Tanecho, you'd be suspicious too. So, you heard everything, eh? Yup. Please don't be so proud of your creepy eavesdropping. Kai, I'm so hyped right now. I mean, are you kidding? You discovered a I swiftly close in on Akio and shove 4 fingers into her mouth. What'd you do that for? If you keep yelling like that, someone's gonna hear you. Keep it down, okay? Ugh. I mean, what if it's a real monopole? It'd be a huge waste just to dump it. Why didn't you try to stop him, Subaru? You know what a monopole would be worth? Monopoles have not been proven to exist. It's absolute nonsense to think that one just happened to drop into this park out of nowhere. Even the worst novel imaginable is written better than that. It's not like Kai has ever mentioned monopoles before. That word is easily in the top 10 list of things Kai would never say. Gee, thanks. Well, when I heard about it, I figured it was a detergent or a pole or for hanging stuff or something. Sorry about that. And now Kai's suddenly talking about them? It's gotta be real. Someone must have talked him into believing it. He's being conned. Oh, good point. Kai does have a tendency to easily believe people. Oh please, you're way more gullible than I am, Aki-chan. You big jerk. Ugh. Here we go again. Who cares about me? Anyway, isn't it more exciting to think positively? Instead of assuming it's not a monopole, let's think about what would be possible if it were one. That's way better. Dream a little. It's lame just to think of ways to get rid of it. Aki-chan, don't make me repeat myself. Keep it down. If you can't do that, I'll shove my fingers up your nose this time. Is that what you want? No, please don't be weird. Just because you're Kai doesn't mean you can do whatever you want. Akio finally realized that I'm being serious and steps back a little. I guess my threat worked. Whatever, let's hear your so-called positive thoughts on this. Then we can consider where to go from there. So basically, what could we use this monopole for? A giant bipedal robot. Duh. Figured you'd say that. Yep. Well, according to Irie and Gejine, I have the right to use the monopole in any way I like, so it shouldn't be an issue. You mean Model 1? Huh? Well... Akio lowers her voice. She then glances at me and immediately fakes a smile. Let's just think about how we could use it for giant bipedal robots in general and not limit ourselves to Gun Build 1. Okay, raise your hand if you have a proposal. Unexpectedly, Subaru voluntarily raises his hand first. An old sci-fi novel apparently depicted monopole engines in its stories. What were they like? Since I've never read it, I don't know the specifics. But basically it was an engine capable of producing immense energy. So if you were able to use monopole, an engine would be the best application. Despite everything he said, I'm guessing Subaru actually enjoys talking about this kind of stuff. Didn't he say he was going home not too long ago? Sure doesn't show any signs of leaving. In fact, he's dead serious. An engine, huh? But say, the batteries and charger were still normal. Would an awesome engine make any difference? Since it can store massive amounts of energy in a short period of time, a diesel engine wouldn't even compare. I bet it'd be super expensive. Aki-chan, positivity goes out the window if we start worrying about money at this point. Oh, right, sorry, that's a bad habit of mine. Hee-ho. Struggles of a poor club president. But I do think it'd be quite the challenge to extract energy from a monopole. Are you supposed to combust and compress it? What about fuel? You might get an idea if you read a novel that talks about monopole engines. I don't have one though. Maybe we have one in the study at home. My dad's really into that kind of stuff. Oops, I didn't read that line. But then again, I feel like most of the time those things are never reproducible in real life. I wonder if there are any ways we can utilize a monopole that are closer to home. I don't know if close to home means much when we're dealing with an unknown particle. Hush, Kai. I don't know, for example, a beam weapon or something. Excuse me? You know, energy for a beam weapon, a rifle or a saber. Monopole could be used to power it. So much for closer to home. This has the same issue as the engine. How do we extract the energy? One moment. Plus, we'd have to minimize the size, at least smaller than an engine, or else it wouldn't work. What about a cannon? Here we go again. One on both shoulders. Our president sure does love her cannons. Oh, wait. Let's equip it with one on the head and make it a high mega particle. Why are you so insistent on weapons? Because we have to fight. Against who? Weren't you the one who suggested we should try and stick close to home? With no means by which to fight back, Akiho shuts down. She then pouts. It's just fun having silly conversations like this is all. You're both just like Misa, who always cuts straight to the point on the phone or when we talk. Sorry that I don't want to waste 30 minutes to an hour on mindless chit-chat just so I can communicate my message. I won't mention who I'm talking about, of course. Fine then. In all seriousness, monopole is basically a magnet, right? It's called a magnetic monopole for a reason. I guess the first thing that comes to mind is that uses magnets on Gun Build 1 or the motors. The frickin' ribbon fell out of my, or the rubber band fell out of my damn mic again. Son of a heck. Could we substitute them with monopoles? If we can use the monopole as an extremely powerful magnet, maybe we can drastically increase the motor's power. In other words, we could solve the issues of Gun Build 1's sluggish walking speed. Sluggish is an understatement. Besides, I don't think the motors are the only issue. Just because a monopole is a mystical rare particle doesn't mean it's as powerful as a raw material. Even if you were just to use it as a magnet, it's possible that it'd be weaker than a normal one. Plus, if we were to use it on Model 1-6 motors, a single monopole that Senpai has is nowhere near sufficient. Kai. Akio slowly approaches me and grabs both of my hands. She looks me straight in the eyes. Make more monopoles rain down. Since when did I become the Rain Man? Didn't you say you could stop them from raining down? So I figured you could probably also do the reverse. Well, I can't. I glance up at the sky, but no monopoles conveniently fall to the ground. Even then. Now let's wait for some, Akiho announces. It was foolish to think something would happen just because we sat around for a few hours. Take a look at Akiho, who's patiently waiting even though the sky has turned red and nothing's happened. What a waste of time. When this first started, she sat in front of the old local hall with bated breath. It wasn't long before she hit her limit and moved to the park lawn. She then killed time playing with a neighbor's dog who had dropped by for a walk. And Akio soon headed to the beach near the lake and the playground. Finally, she zoned out in the viewing platform. That's our current situation. Spending half the day in this old park during vacation sure has been a giant waste of time. Granted, I've been playing KB the whole time, so it works out. I want any fall. Akio continues to look up at the sky tirelessly as she mumbles to herself. She's been doing this all day. It's already miraculous that a single one fell here, if that's actually a monopole, of course. I'm shocked Subaru stuck around the whole time. Despite his indifferent tone, he's clearly interested in the whole monopole thing. That being said, it's been mostly quiet. Nobody's been talking. Just like I ignored Akio this entire time by playing KB, Subaru was also reading a book on his phone droid. Kai, did a monopole really fall from the sky? One moment. Thank you. Hey Kai. Could you stop gaming for like 1 sec? Ah, good grief. Aki-chan, friendo, could you not bother me? You should know when I'm trying to concentrate by now, right? If you keep bugging me, I won't hesitate to headbutt you. You got it? Oh, are you referencing the raging that? I'm not. I don't even know what that is. For real? It's Bolvion's finishing move. That clutch raging dive in episode 112 gets me hyped every time. You even listening? Can't respond to things I don't understand. Can't you be more like Subaru-kun and be quiet? I don't watch the sky. How will we know if a monopole falls or not? Doubt it's gonna happen today. Why don't you just give up and go home? You jerk. I bet you were just thinking that I'm in the way. Well, you're not wrong. Why are you so mean? Ugh. Come on, at least react. About 4 hours ago, we had a similar back and forth. It's impressive that she can maintain her enthusiasm for this long. It's admirable in a weird way. Hey, Kai. Akio's tone drops a little. I guess she calmed down. She casts her gaze out to the park and whispers. I guess she intends to completely ignore my request for silence. Fine, I can play along for a little while. I don't need her getting upset again. You know how you climbed the tower the other day? Was that related to this whole monopole thing? Yep. Did one fall because you climbed the tower? Sorry, gamers. I suppose you could say that. So that's why you did something so dangerous. You went that far to get one, but now you want to get rid of it? I don't know what you're trying to do, Kai. I didn't climb the tower to get a monopole, just for the record. So is it total coincidence that you got your hands on one? Precisely. By the way, for some reason Akio lowers her voice and begins to whisper to me. If we sold the monopole, how much money do you think we'd make? I don't know. I can't even begin to imagine a number. Is there a thrift store in thrift store in Nishinomote? Doubt they'd be able to buy it off us. Duh, we can't just sell it to a random thrift store. You have to sell it to someone who understands its true value. Like a research lab or a big company. If we sell it to someone who knows its value, might be able to make tens of millions of yen. Tens of millions. Hee-ho. My New Year's money wouldn't be an issue anymore. Akiho looks totally enraptured. Aki-chan, be careful not to drool. I'm not drooling. Despite her hurried objection, she rushes to wipe her mouth. I don't think it should be monopolized by any one company. Subaru finally opens his mouth after a long period of silence. Only a small group of people would be able to benefit from it. We should be more open and share the information with the masses. That'll speed up the research process. Agreed. The committee, if they got it, they'd put a cap on it and pretend it never happened, just like the Ulysses project. Agreed with me, Yashio-senpai? Didn't you say you wanted to get rid of it in secret? I'm just saying, if we chose to sell it. He puts away his phone droid and looks over at the rocket launch pad visible in the distance. I still don't think we should stay quiet about this. I think we should at least inform JAXA about it. We know people there, like Prez's father and Tanoji-san. To not make this incredible discovery public, the discovery of our lifetime even, would be a betrayal to society. Couldn't help myself. What is it? A betrayal to society, huh? Talk about scale, Subaru-kun. I'm just saying it's that much of a big deal. It's like you have no clue how much a monopole is really worth, Kai. If you just got out that a monopole was discovered, the world would be turned upside down. She's absolutely right. That's how incredible a monopole truly is. For the first time in a while, Subaru and Akiho are on the same page instead of butting heads. Oh man. Oh gosh. But somewhere deep inside, I'm still not convinced. You didn't believe me when I claimed it was a monopole a few hours ago. All the more reason then why we should entrust it to JAXA so they can examine it properly and find out for sure. I refuse. Do you intend on obstructing scientific progress because you want to avoid a little fuss? Yep. That's not actually true. Irie said she didn't want it to be publicized. One moment. She said that the committee of 300 would take notice and that it'd be dangerous. She told me that Ko Kamijima was murdered. We don't know why, by whom, but there's no way it's unrelated to the committee. He tried to reveal the conspiracy. If the EGI system Ko Kamijima left can track monopoles and the committee finds out about it, well, they'll try to make contact with me and the people around me. Depending on the situation, we might even be killed. I get that this whole conspiracy thing is a little much, but it's a fact that Ko Kamijima was murdered. So I can't afford to take chances. If this discovery can flip our world upside down, even more reason to be careful. No means no. I'm not going through that kind of hassle. Oh, but I'm down with using it ourselves. Irie said she doesn't mind that either. You're unbelievable. This is total nonsense. Nonsense or not, no means no. If you tell an adult about this, I'm gonna reveal that you're Mr. Pleiades. Oh, please don't do that. Kai. Akio suddenly stares into my eyes with a concerned look on her face. Are you okay? What do you mean? You're being really stubborn right now, more than usual. You're never like this when it comes to stuff outside of video games. I'm a little worried. Plus, you've been acting weird lately. You're hiding something from me, aren't you? She's sharp. She knows me too well. That being said, it's not like I promised you I wouldn't keep secrets. I've done lots of things behind your back in the past. Huh? Like what? That's a secret. Ugh. Akio gets all mopey. Recently, you've been doing all kinds of things alone. Are you sure you haven't gotten into some weird trouble? Oh, come on. How weird could this island get? Be serious. This place is prime countryside nothingness, lost to the flow of time. Despite my own words, the reality is that this island is overflowing with mystery. I had no clue about it until a month ago. I always thought this island was empty. I always thought things were ordinary. Things I thought were ordinary were actually bizarre upon closer inspection. And once you make that first discovery, well, everything starts to seem suspicious. Just like the local hall remains right over there. Or the mass animal deaths that Juna told me about. Anyway, stop making me worried, okay? Don't ever do something like you did during the typhoon. You and I are one body and soul. I know. One body and soul, eh? Subaru's off to the side, listening. He's probably gonna get the wrong idea about our relationship. But the phrase is fitting for the two of us. We both get attacks and do our best to help each other out. Akio stretches her arms and looks up at the sky again as she takes a deep breath. Guess we can call it for today. Are you gonna be okay staying out this late, Subaru? Is your father gonna get mad again? No, it's not like I'm building hobby robots or anything. He's not gonna get mad that I spent my time zoning out in the park. Well, I just figured he might get the wrong idea if he knows you're with us. You think there's someone in this park who'd tattle on me? Besides, my dad doesn't involve himself in my relationships. He doesn't care who I hang out with. Though if he saw how weird you and Yashio-senpai are, he may very well tell me to stop hanging out with you. Hey, you big meanie! If Kai and I are weirdos, then you're a weirdo too, Subaru. Please don't lump me together with you two. Hey, Kai, say something! This is a repeat of a conversation from a few hours ago. It's not like he's wrong, so who cares? It too, Kai. Akio then takes a breath. But thank you, Subaru, she says in a serious voice. Excuse me? Thanks for not quitting the robot club and for helping us make Gun Build 1. I'm real grateful. I'm not staying in the robot club to make you happy, Prez. I just don't want my connection to Mr. Pleiades to leak. That's all. He looks away as if he's trying to hide his blushing face. He's not very honest with himself. So you're not going to build hobby robots anymore? Have you considered rebuilding M45 or... Probably not. I see. That sucks. I thought the honorary prez would finally have a friend. A friend? Akio's words are probably coming straight from her heart. She tends to think about robots as living things. Oh, but you don't hate robots or anything, right? You still like them, right? Subaru is so flustered that he turns to me for help. This is pretty entertaining, so I pretend not to notice his gaze. Akio is infinitely passionate when it comes to robots. So sometimes she'll start asking serious questions like this out of nowhere. It's like she just professed her love to someone and is eagerly waiting for a reply. I get Subaru's reaction. I don't hate them, I've just given up on them. Okay. Then Akio glances over at me. She squares up with Subaru again as if she's made up her mind about something. Just to let you two know, I'm thinking of making Gun Build 2. Pardon me? Let's build a life-size gun barrel prototype model 2. Gun Build 2 for short. Well, well, what do you know? Sorry, everyone. You're really going to do this? Yeah. Thinking about accepting Tennoji-san's offer. Looks like look, it's not like I'm giving up on Gun Build 1. But I learned from our test run the other day that we're never going to win first at the expo with it. That is a sound decision. That's a really mature decision for you to come to, Aki-chan. After the test run the other day, she did seem very conflicted. She must have made her decision during the Obon holiday. As someone who actually piloted that thing, we should seriously never turn it on ever again. For real. Sorry, everybody. You have no idea how terrifying that was for me. Don't talk about Gun Build 1 like that. It's not that Subaru convinced me to change my mind. I decided for myself that this is the best path moving forward. Is that right? Subaru's expression remains as composed as ever. Didn't expect you to budge, Prez. I have no problems with this. Anyway, you're gonna help me design Gun Build 2. Me? Better put your money where your mouth is after all that smack talk. So please help us. I'm not taking no for an answer. Fine, I'm in. You didn't even flinch. That was such a huge deal for me. I just don't want to freak out about it. Consider my position for once. It still pains me that I'm helping you guys out behind my dad's back. I don't ever want him to find out the truth again, so I'm gonna keep working in secret. I don't mind designing it, but please do not make my name public at the expo or anything. You're already primed and ready to go, eh? Can't help but grin. You didn't even consider that we might get DQ'd during inspections or not finish the robot in time. Well, that's judging by his reaction, it's pretty clear that he's actually excited. I understand. You can do it in hiding. By the way, Subaru isn't the only one participating in the making of Gun Build 2. Kai, Jun, and Fraubo will all be chipping in. Gun Build 1 was the crystallization of the Robot Club alumni's sweat and tears. But Gun Build 2 is different. The 5 of us will be making it ourselves. Let's make the robot that only we can build. We only have 6 months left, but we have a sponsor now. Jackson will support us too. We can do it. I know we can. Hey Kai. It's not just the 2 of us anymore. Now there are 5 of us. The best giant bipedal robot we can make right now. That's the concept behind Gun Build 2. Just talking about it gets me hyped. She starts talking to herself and gets fired up all on her own. Granted, she did just make a huge decision, so I understand. Come on, guys, get more hyped up. Here, give me your hands. Clueless Subaru and I stick our hands out. Akio begins stacking hers on top of each other. Central T Robot Club, Blast of Spirit. Yori blah blah blah. Yeah. She launches her hands into the air and shouts alone. God, you guys gotta say it too. Is that some kind of cheer? Duh. How are we supposed to know what to say when you just came up with it yourself? By the way, I'm assuming Central T refers to Central Tanegashima High. I don't think I've ever heard it shortened like that. I'm sorry to be a party pooper, but I don't intend on ever being the pilot again. Come on, is now really the time to say that? Question? Subaru meekly raises his hand. Will you be helping with the design? If so, our design philosophies are completely at odds. How will you remedy this? Well, we just gotta talk it over, maybe? She's got no clue. Ugh, this is the part we're supposed to be hyped for the future. You guys are such party poopers, I swear. I wanted us to come together for this. My bad, but this is who I am. Listen, once the Oban holiday is over, we're going to meet with JAXA. You have to be there. No skipping. Fine, fine. Not that I'm going to be very useful, but whatever. She's as pushy as always. I can't help but smile bitterly. Doesn't really bother me, though. That's just Akiho's nature. I was a little worried because she seemed pretty down about Gun Build 1's failed test run, but I guess it's fine. New robot, huh? Can't begin to fathom what it's gonna look like. But I sure hope it's something better than Gun Build 1. End that. Oh, nope, still 13th. I get out of the bathtub and dry my hair with a towel as I return to my room. Since it's the middle of summer, even though I'm in shorts and a t-shirt, it's still hot enough for me to sweat. That's why my glasses have fogged up. Since I can't see anything, I wipe the lenses with my towel. My vision suddenly starts to fall apart during junior high school. Spent a lot of time reading books and hobby robot manuals with a desk light, so it's no wonder I needed glasses. I think my dad got mad at me for it, so that was the first time he scolded me for my interest in hobby robots. Robots, eh? Prez's words from this afternoon are still with me. Thinking of making Gun Build 2. My gaze is subconsciously pointed to the corner of the room. There's a cardboard box sitting there. The top is wide open. Through the opening, I can see numerous pieces of hobby robot parts. My partner, the same robot who won 3 consecutive Robo 1 tournaments, was stored in there after I dismantled it. The reason why I put it in such a clear place is to show my dad that I haven't touched it since I took it apart. But even after disassembling it and not being able to tinker with it anymore, I wanted my late partner to be nearby. I stand in front of the box and stare deep into it. I don't dare touch it. Promise myself I wouldn't when I took M45 apart. So all I can do is look. You're going to be helping me design Gun Build 2. Hey, M45. I wonder why. I've already put an end to it. Gave up on my dream and my hobby. Decided to follow in my dad's footsteps. But when I think about getting to help build a brand new robot, can't help but burst into a smile. Even though I took you apart, I'm excited to be building a new robot again. I tried my best to keep my cool in front of Prez and Yashio-senpai, but I think the last time I was this excited was when I won my first Robo 1 as Mr. Pleiades. I'm sorry, M45, but it looks like I'm going to keep dreaming for just a little while longer. This will be my last dream, and I won't fail this time. Watch over me. Now then, where am I going to draw up the blueprints? And that is another episode of Robotics Notes Elite. Like, I'm actually going to go in here to make sure. Yep, 18th, alright. That is another episode of Robotics Notes Elite like Animal Crossing. I will see you in 4 days, I think? Yeah, some days. 5 days, maybe even. Yeah, 5 days. Crap. See you then. Nochio!